welcome back, everybody. This is your girl, Lady Princess, and you're mixing it up with your girl, Lady Princess, on IntellectualRadio.com. And we are doing it big here. Today's topic I have for you is to shop black or not? That is the question. So we're going to be talking about basically black-owned businesses, shopping black. But before we get started and my guests arrive, I just want to definitely show you some things that I've been doing and working on and I had out as a black woman. You know, I have, and I'm going to do a little promo for myself. I have my first book that I wrote here called Journey Never End. And see, and we have to, and I'm trying to encourage everybody to anything that you say or anything that you do, write it down because it becomes a story. Your test become a testimony. Okay, so write it down because you never know what. Because when I first did a women's conference, when I first wrote this book and sold 130 copies, and everybody was saying that was my story. That was my story. You was telling my story. So a test can become a testimony. So write it down. But The Journey Never End is one of my first book that I pinned down. My second book that I pinned down and also made a little cartoon was called The Manual, and I call it the Manual Project. So it's a boy who fights sin. Emmanuel didn't fight John Jill, he fought sin. So this is a boy, and I go around to schools. I do a lot of speaking engagement with schools, trying to encourage the kids. And at the end, it says you could be like Emmanuel, and I'm going to give you a little insert, and it's for kids. Basically, we need to encourage our kids and put positivity in our kids and let them know that they're lions and they're kings and they're queens. And at the end of my book, it says right here, and I hope everybody can see or looking at it, it says, become like Emmanuel. Help your teachers, your parents, and your friends. We all are made different and beautiful, but we can all love the same. So that's what, because our kids does not see color. Our kids does not see hate. We promote hate. That's what grown-ups do for children. So we need to start promoting different things that they all have a voice. So if you got an idea or something that you want to do, even if you want to know how to self-publish your book, you know, you can reach me and you can also listen to the program on IntellectualRadio.com. You can call in the number, you know, and give me a call. If you want to be a guest on the show and you have a topic, you have a book, you have a CD or anything, you can also reach me also on Intellectual Radio, and you can also contact me, or you can go to www.princessdempsey.com and reach me as well. I just want to say that we want to encourage you. And like I said, my topic is, should we shop black? If we are going to shop black, if we're not going to shop black, why don't people shop black? Because there's a lot of black businesses, and I've talked to a lot of business owners, and I wonder why so many businesses that are African American owned are not been catered to. Is some reason why they're not? You can call in. Feel free to call in and contact us. And I also want to thank my previous guests, the guests that have came to the radio show and to support Intellectual Radio. Intellectual Radio, just let everybody know, is black owned. Okay, so again, if you're listening, you're supporting, but we got to do better than this. We got to start supporting by ads. You know, we got radio ads. You know, you should be purchasing, especially if you're a business. You need to start promoting yourself, because one thing you don't do as a business is promote yourself. And the bottom line is, you can promote yourself on my show. You can come on here and we can do like they say, take a commercial break and promote yourself. If you have a business, you need promotion. Just like you need business cards, you need promotion. You need radio, you need television. That's the way that you come out there. Let's start thinking outside of the box. Shall we say that? Think outside the box. And Intellectual Radio is a 24-hour radio show, 24, 7 days a week. So this is the best radio if you trust me. Go to GCI if you want to, or V103. You're going to pay an arm, a leg, and then the firstborn, as opposed to going to Intellectual Radio, where you're right here. You could actually tune in, because you can go to the website and you can replay your own ad and let people hear you. And see, then people begin to take you serious. Now, what I'm going to start doing, and you're going to see it real soon, I'm going to start advertising for Intellectual Radio to market yourself as a business. We got a job fair coming up on September 21st. I got flyers going around to these business owners that's going to be at this job fair saying, have you ever thought about putting your show on the internet radio? So, and if you are one of those businesses, I'm telling you, this is some things that you need to do. And I'm going to have my name on there. Lady P said, I need to advertise. How do I get into advertise? When would be the best slot? I'll get all that information for you. But again, trust me, you're not going to pay what you're paying over there, but you will be heard. That's the key point, is you will be heard. Now, I've been on CIU radio, which was Chicago State University. I've been on the Big Gospel 1590 radio station, but there's nothing like intellectual radio, because they was not 24 hours. They was not 7 days a week. I can tell you that. I could not go up there, because right now a lot of people go, and I've seen people say, send me the link. And I'll send them the link of the show. I can't do that with the other shows. So as a business owner, I'm telling you, the key point is to market your business. Radio is the key, because guess what? Everybody's listening to it. And the amazing thing about it, that if you could if you got internet in your car, you can pick it up. So why not advertise? Black on, you want to know it? Black on. Intellectual Radio is doing it. I would not be here if they wasn't. Everybody know me. I would not be here if they're not the real deal. And they're the real deal. So I'm just asking everybody, especially people I got a lot of emails that I want to respond to. And that's nothing too. I've been asking everybody, if it's a topic that I put out there, if you put it on my Facebook, I'm going to respond to it on my Facebook, but I'm also going to respond to it during the show, and saying that, one of my callers or one of my supporters had asked this question. If you put it out there, how to say, if you build them, they will come. If you build it, they will come. So if you have a topic that you want to talk about, like I told you before, you guys seen some of my topics on Facebook, and I've talked about some of the things that was going on in Broadview. Well, that's different than intellectual radio, because intellectual radio, I want to hear your voice. On what I do on my Facebook is my personal time, and I do that because I am a resident. What I do here, I'm opening it up to the world. Do that make sense? I want to hear your voice. I want to hear artists. I want to hear authors. I want to hear what you have to do, so we can understand why you do what you do. When I wrote this book called The Journey Never Ends, and the book of Journey of an, because when I wrote it, it says a spiritual journey of Miss Princess. And this book was written because I prayed on it. And the reason what the title for is because as long as there's seed time and harvest, the journey would never end. That means as long as earth remains, we're going to always be going through something. It's not what we go through, it's how we handle it. So we can go through everything, but how do you handle it when you get out? How do you handle your relationship? How do you handle your children? How do you handle your job? How do you handle it? Because you're going to go through something. Nobody's here is perfect. So and I talked about that because a lot of times people put so much, like men, they put so much energy on a woman. They want a woman so bad, they put energy on it. Now women are putting so much on a man. They would do everything for a man and put so much energy in it, but she don't pay her bills. She don't pay her light bills. And the first thing they think is that's what he's supposed to do. Baby, bye. That is not what he's supposed to do. That is not. See, if you go back in the biblical days, a man go out and get the food, bring it home. Y'all heard it before. Bring home. He go out and hunt, and we bring it home and cook it, right? Y'all heard bring home the bacon, right? But that's not what's happening. What's happening is now I'm an independent woman. I'm a business owner. I own businesses as well. But you have to know your place. Let me just say that. I know y'all probably saying, what do you talk about? Know your place. I say this at women conference. As a matter of fact, some husbands love that I say this, but it's not for husbands to love, because just like men, the Bible said, love your wife as you love the church. That means you have to treasure her. You can't just cheat on her. You can't beat on her. You have to do some things too. You have to, be mindful that when two people are married or they get together, is a marriage bonded in heaven. And God is looking down upon that. Even if you're in a relationship, you still have to be good to one another. Now, of course, like I said, you're going to go through something, but there's a cause and an effect. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you can bring people in your relationship that don't belong in your relationship. Steve Harvey wrote a book called Think Like a Man. Princess Dempsey finna write a book, Think Like a Woman. How to think like a woman. As a matter of fact, I'm glad I got no guests. Think like a woman. So let me just so on my show, we're gonna talk about think like a woman too, right? Most of you men want to know how to get to a woman. It's not all about money and finances or nothing like that. It really, okay, I'll take that back. Some women like the money and finances, but everybody's not the same. Some women that are successful, who already have it, who have their businesses, who have their banks, who have their homes and stuff like that, they want someone real simple. They don't want the brag. You got two types of men. You got the bragger and the boasters. There's always bragging on stuff and boasting on everything. And they got the quiet ones that's the one that most likely got it going on because he ain't gonna say everything he got anyway. You ain't gonna know everything he got anyway. And then you got the church goers. I call them the hoe goers. They go to church just to find a lady. And that's exactly what they probably in there. They go in there. They know how to trust me. They know how to do the Holy Ghost. They know how to do. They put a spin on it. They be up there. You thinking they stepping. They are so good. Okay. And these women are far from, oh, he just been here. That's Deacon Johnson. He been here forever. He just in the church. No, that's what he does. The Bible said the thief coming not but to steal, kill, and destroy. He's there observing you. He's there watching you. He's there. And that's what he does. And then when they get him, then all of a sudden his true colors come out. My question to everybody that's listening, how long do you think that you should date someone before you allow him to move in? Should it be 3 weeks? Because that's what's been going on. 2 months? 6 months? Answer that question and then give it to me on my website. And I'll put that out there too on my Facebook. How long do you think it should be before you date someone? And what I'm going to do is on most of you, I got some texts. You want me to go live on Facebook so you can see it. I'm going to go live, but that's going to be one of my questions that I'm going to bring back. How long do you think someone should date? Now, remind you, I'm not a relationship doctor. That I'm not. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just I'm a street doctor. I see it. I see it. And it keeps happening. And you just shake your head like, really? Because every time people get into it, they always want to do what is called blame game. Super producer, I really believe there's a place in hell called excuses. I really believe right by lying, killing, stealing, excuses. I really believe there's a place in hell called excuses because they keep making them. And I'm telling you right now, everybody want to make an excuse. Everybody want to say whose fault it is, who not fault it is. But guess what? Nobody's taking blame for their own action. Nobody. I haven't seen it yet. You got with this guy. You knew when you met him, he was smoking, drinking, gambling. Then all of a sudden you get with him and you want to change him. You got this with this girl. You knew she was a downright tutti frutti, but yet still you trying to change her. You can't change people. That's who they are. When you met them, what my Angelo says, when somebody show you who they are, believe them the first time. So I believe that we don't really believe who people are. We just say who they are, and then we say, well, I think they're going to change, but reality, they don't change. I told the guy today, I said, you're crazy. He said, I'm not crazy. I said, you are crazy. He said, oh, I'm not crazy. Why did you say I was crazy? I said, because you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. That's crazy. And so I'm not a counselor. Like I said, I'm not your therapist, but people do call me like I am a counselor and a therapist, and I don't have that degree. So what I want to do is take a commercial break so I can go ahead and get on Facebook Live because I got 4 or 5 texts asking me to go live so they can comment. And we'll be right back. Like I said, we're just taking a little break. I won't call it a music break because none of y'all pay for no commercials. Welcome back. Welcome back. That's right. You're mixing it up with your girl, Lady Princess, on IntellectualRadio.com, an iHeart station. We're doing it big. I told you, super producer, I was going to practice that. So, so my topic was the super producer asked me to repeat it. How long do you think you should move in with somebody when you first meet them? Should it be 1 week, 6 months, 6 weeks? What? And I'm getting ready to go Facebook Live. So you tell me what you think. Okay. So if you don't think that it should be anything like that, um, if you're a black owned business, I got Kimberly saying that she would like to shop black. Okay, well, we had Crystal Dyer on here one time, who was a black owned business and had a black owned business. Now I'm going to go live because I'm going to ask these people some questions. So as I sit up here and get this live thing going on Facebook, if you have any questions, you can call in. Like I said, what we're doing here tonight is I want to know about black owned black businesses, why we're not supporting them. And then I have an attorney also who's online. I'm looking at him now. I'm going to be asking Chris, I'm going to be calling the names out and asking them, how does he, as a black attorney, how is it that he's getting business? What's happening in his business? So these are things that I want, and I can't say, oh, y'all guys, but we're doing a lot of things. And if you're a business, and again, if you want to advertise on the station, I will be having flyers. I'm going to be putting on my website. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a link on there to say to advertise, do radio advertising, because as a black business, yes, you're out there, but how is people getting to you? Now, the white folks, they spend millions of dollars on advertising, millions of dollars. They do not have a problem with advertising. We seem to have a problem with advertising. So let me see. Kind of like going live here. Super producer got to go live here. Okay. So you can call in at 708-223-8953. But we are going to be going live. So I'm going to be going live in a few minutes. As a matter of fact, I'm going right now. So if you are on Facebook and you're watching me, I am live on Facebook. So I'm asking you, we're talking about a subject on how two things. One, black owned black business, advertising your business, promoting your business, getting people to buy and sponsor black businesses. So I'm on intellectualradio.com. You guys see that 708-223-8953. You're more than welcome to call in. Also, we're talking about relationships. Now, like I stated before, I'm not a relationship doctor, but what do you think and how long you think that somebody will go dating before they actually move in? So do you think that it should be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months? How long do you think when you're dating someone, how long should they do you fall in love? I mean, what is your thoughts on that? What is your thoughts on black love? So we're on intellectual radio. And hey, Phyllis, how's you going? Phyllis Duncan with Mothers of Murdered Sons just shared your video. Thank you for coming on in. But if you want to call in, I'm on the radio. Feel free to call in at 708-223-8953. And like I said, the topic that we have today is the black on black love. We're talking about businesses, shopping businesses, and also, wait a minute, so nonprofit organization. If you have a nonprofit organization, you should also be trying to market your business. Hey, Judy. So you should also be trying to market your business. So I'm on the radio and I'm talking about relationships. So if you think before somebody move in with you, how long do you think it should be? I asked somebody, was it 1 week, 3 weeks, 6 months, or should they never move in with you? And then I also talked about, are you, they talk about Steve Harvey have a book, Think Like a Man. I'm saying, Lady Princess is saying, think like a woman. So what is it that you think that a man should be doing? And then what kind of man are you looking for in your life? You think it should be a man that, you know, what, got a job, or you want an unemployment man? Go ahead and post your comments, and I'll go ahead and read your comments. Okay, Daryl is calling in on my Facebook. I can't answer on my Facebook. Okay, he's calling in on my Facebook. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can decline him and ask him to call a number here. Yeah, he's calling in on my Facebook. I can't take any calls on my Facebook. I can take calls on here 708-223-8953. Why don't you guys call in? Um, and I can take all the calls you want. Judy, call in and talk to me. What kind of man that we would call our Boaz? Ms. Duncan, what kind of man we call him? And Mr. Johnson, what kind of woman would you like to see? So this is what I'm talking about. IntellectualRadio.com, streaming live 24/7, and we're doing it here right now, and we're doing it live. So you tell me what you want to see, and then we'll put it together. But you have to call in. I can't answer on my Facebook. I can't answer on my cell phone. You have to call in. And also too, just to let everybody know, I was promoting my book, The Journey Never Ends. It's the book that I wrote, so everybody can see it. Y'all know I like to put my book out there. Also, I was promoting my children's book, my manual project. So these are things that I have going on. And like I said, my guest was supposed to come, but he keeps calling me on my Facebook, and I can't answer on the Facebook live. So if you want to call in, let us know. 223-8953. Don't be scared or say your questions here. So, oh, oh, cut myself off. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Thank you. I don't know what happened to the sound. I guess the radio with the our radio with the live feed here is have caused a technical difficulties. So the question is, so what do you think about relationships? I mean, in the 90s, in the year 2017 compares to back in 1986. Okay, how long do you think you should live, or want somebody to move in with you? Do you think it should be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months, a year? What's your thought process? You tell me. I mean, anybody have any comments? Like I said, when we say think like a woman, most men don't know what a woman really wants. Just like Steve Harvey, they think women just, I'll just buy her something and I'm good. That's not they want, what a woman want is a man to tell the truth. Tell the truth. They don't like the baby mama drama, but y'all still keep giving it to us. They don't like all that other extra stuff. They just want the truth. They want and see, and I'm telling you the truth. If you tell them, hey, this is what my situation is, allow someone to accept your situation as opposed to you putting the situation on them and then say, oh, by the way, this is what happened. If I know what the situation is and I decide to go with you, even though I know the situation, then it's my choice. But when you give somebody no choices and then you lie to them and say, well, I thought you knew, or you didn't know that was happening. Right. You have to be mindful that people are watching, people are understanding, what trying to see what you're trying to do. But this is your relationship. Men, women, don't settle for anything. I'm speaking to the women now. Stop settling for anything. Set your standards and keep your standards. Okay. So you got these men, you can't come in a relationship and tell a girl, well, I'm going to be with you, but I got my baby mama. I got this other girl over here. But then you want us to be honest and then you want us to be upfront. That's not how that works. If you start off in a relationship with a lie, then everything in that relationship is going to be a lie. So just like with a man, if you want a woman and you say, well, I want a good woman. I want a woman like this and like that. You got criterias, but yet still you're not adding to the pot. So you can't say you want a woman to cook, clean, and all that, but then you don't want a woman, you want her to clean your clothes, but you don't want to pay no bills. That's not how that works. Or you between jobs. How you between jobs? You ain't got no job, Tommy. You ain't got no job. How you between jobs? That's not how that works. No. If you're supposed to be the hunter, go out and hunt and bring home the meal. Stop looking for a way to come to a woman and then tell her everything she's not. See, you're supposed to build her up, but when you come to her and you steady tearing her down, then when she comes back at you, that's what's wrong with the black community now. Because then she comes back at you, tearing you down. Then you saying, see, you know what, you're doing too much. And it doesn't start, it's not a black and white thing, it's a relation thing. Because you could be in a relationship with a Spanish, white, Caucasian, anybody. It's about the individual. So if you start off, if you're bringing something to the table, which is positivity, and if you want to be in the politics, let your wife or your husband know that that's what you're trying to do. If you're not in that, then don't do it. This is like I said, Steve wrote how to think like a man. I'm writing how to think like a woman. Because if you men start thinking like we're thinking, then you understand that everything ain't about the money. It's about the honesty. Women prefer honesty and prefer you to be upfront than you always coming with a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie. If you want a good woman and you want a woman that's going to be by your side, then you got to treat her like she's a queen if you want to be treated like a king. That's all I'm got to say. I'm on IntellectualRadio.com. If you got something you want to say to me, call me at 708-223-8953. But I'm talking about thinking like a woman. So if you're thinking like a woman, if you're talking to me, we're having a conversation. Don't talk at me, talk to me. Do that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Because if you're talking to me, I'm going to listen. When you talk at me, I ain't going to listen. It's going to be a fight, right? So we need to stop. So we start our relationships off right now. Like I said, from 2017 and compared to 86, men didn't do half the things they did, but women didn't do half the things they did. But we, as men and women, when I set my standards high, don't lower your standards. If you met her, she drinks and she smokes, don't come in a relationship telling her, oh, I don't want you doing all of that. Didn't you meet her like that? Just saying. If you met her like that, if she was a drunk when you met her, she a drunk. I'm just saying. You can't change someone. You could hope that they change, but you better be prepared for that. Now, I got another call. I mean, like I said, call in. Don't call me on, you call me on my cell phone, but call in at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953, and I'm on intellectualradio.com. You can also tune in. I'm streaming 24/7 live. You can tune in and listen to the show. Only thing I'm saying to you, we're right. If you got a question and you're a man, post it. I trust me and believe me. You can if you build somebody up. The Bible said a wise woman builded up her house. But a foolish woman tear down her house with her own bare hands. And I'm saying to you that if we build you up, you have to build her up. It's not just you building one. It's not just, we have to build one another up. So this is your girl, Lady Princess. And yes, like I said, I showed everybody my book, The Journey Never Ends. Y'all see my book? And I'm going to have this at my birthday. And I'm having a birthday party. So let everybody know, even though my birthday is September 28th, we're going to be having a birthday party October 7th. And I will be telling everybody where it's at. You're welcome to come back if you're my friend. You're welcome to come by my birthday and come and celebrate. And I'll be having books there. And also I have something for the kids. Don't bring no kids by my birthday party. I ain't playing with none of y'all. So it's a grown folks party. I'm just letting everybody know it's a grown folks party. Okay. All right. Judy said, where you purchase the book? I tell you. And then here's my manual. It's called a manual project. It's for the children. What I'm trying to teach them is happiness, love, hope, peace, and joy, because they don't know hate. we have people are teaching them hate. And even in the book, it's like a coloring book. It's like a crossword puzzle, a coloring book, and the kids can color this. I go around to schools, and if you want me to come to your school and speak and see, and it says, see that? And so these are for kids. I'm teaching them how to love and respect one another and to be adults. And it's called the Emmanuel Project. Y'all see that? Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And to purchase the book, Judy, they can go to my website at www.princessdempsey.com. We're going to be putting this on a website, and it's called The Journey Never Ends. So we're going to be putting that on there. But it's about building relationships. It's about, like I said, Steve wrote about the man, think like a man. I'm saying thinking like a woman, because if a man take his time and understand what our needs are, what we go through, because I'm quite sure they don't understand. We just don't want you to lie. All those lies after lies, and they keep adding up and stacking up and stacking up and stacking up. Then you tell so many lies, you forget the last lie you told. And that's not cool. Relationships are built on trust, honesty, and built on you loving me for who I am and not trying to change who I am as an individual. So that's what relationships is built on. So I'm your girl, Lady Princess, and I'm mixing it up. I'm going to take a commercial break. Like I said, you can call in. Please feel free to call in, and you will be on live at 708-223-8953. I'm on IntellectualRadio.com, and I'm on here every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about some good things. So we just go and play a little music, and I'll be right back. All right. Welcome back. You guys are listening to your girl mixing it up with Lady Princess on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Radio Station. Again, if you want to call in, you can call in at 708-223-8953. I actually had a guest to join me. That's why I took a little break. And I want him to introduce himself and his organization. Go right ahead, Mr. Darrell Watts.
I'm Daryl Watson. My organization is Brothers in Christ.
Okay, tell me about Little Brothers in Christ.
We are a nonprofit agency where we trying to go back in the community and help the youth, help people that's been into poverty, situations, living in like bad situations and bad places like the projects and stuff like that. We're trying to get them to get back in school, get their GED, things of that nature.
Okay, and how long has the organization been involved?
We've been 2 years now.
2 years. Okay, where are they located at?
We got to find a place. We just got our 501c3. So we're trying to find a location. We want to do it on the west side of Chicago or either Maywood.
Okay. And why those areas? Why the west side or Maywood?
You watch the news, the ones, most of the shootings and the drug, people selling drugs and doing things of that nature. Want to go back and get the people, especially there's a lot of people that just came home from jail and penitentiary, and they need, ways to get their resumes done and stuff like that. You got a staffing agency.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you doing the same thing we're doing. You want to give people jobs and help them be able to grow. They already coming home from jail. They already, already being judged for, doing a crime, but they have done their time. And like my friend Benny Lee always say, when do they wrong ends and when do they beginning begins? You can't keep bringing up my past. Right. Every time I try to go for a job interview, you want to bring up my past. You cannot keep doing that. So we're trying to make programs where people will be okay in interviews and not be scared and not scared to write on the application that they have been convicted of a felon, a felony. And if they, they scared when they see that, they run up out the office. They was like, well, they finna judge me. They finna say this and that. And we need more like expungements and, programs like that to get people all that stuff off their back. I mean, they did their time. I believe that they need to get another chance.
Now, you also was part of Ceasefire, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay. What's the difference in that program, a Ceasefire program, and the program you're talking now? What's the difference?
With Ceasefire, really, there is no difference, really not a big difference, but Brothers in Christ, well, we go out to the communities. We do a lot of fundraising. We go to a lot of churches and stuff. It's more Christians coming together trying to make something happen, and more church, like churchy. That's what they call it. More like people that's in the church coming together, and pastors and stuff that's behind us and stuff, our pastors and stuff. Ceasefire was just more of a funding from the government, which I really just upset that they didn't get the funding again for that, because it did stop a lot of murders happening out here. Us talking to the gang chiefs and stuff like that, stopping things before they, even after someone was murdered, we was able to talk to them and, get them not to retaliate. And that's the number one thing of gangs. They want to retaliate. How I know? I was a gang chief. So I got, gave my life to the Lord, and I hadn't changed my life. So I go back and get them people that are still out there struggling. And they listen to me because I was there where they, where they at. I was there. So that's, that's my ministry. I go out in the street and get the people from where I came from.
Okay. Now, before you came on, I was having a topic. We had several topics. One, it was Black on Black businesses. How do we shop Black, purchase Black? But then it was also, Steve Harvey wrote a book, Think Like a Man, and I'm writing a book, Think Like a Woman.
It's going to be successful because it's time for something like that. Hey, in the woman's perspective, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm writing a woman perspective book, what women want. And most women that I was talked to on my research, they just want honesty. They want a man to be honest, and they don't want to have the various lies and the different stories. They want, when I meet you, give it to me in the raw and let me decide if this is the relationship that I want or not want. You know what I'm saying? Because, we get with people, because that this happened now. They get with people, then all of a sudden, oh, by the way,
right.
I got 25,000 kids.
Right.
Oh, by the way, I was in jail with your brother, but I didn't tell you that, but I knew who you was, by the way, Pookie and them is, really not my cousins, by the way, So it's not the hidden agendas are there.
Right.
And I think we said that women just really want the honesty. So because if they have the honesty, then they get to decide if this is the relationship I want to do or if I'm not. But if you don't give me that decision and you kind of take that freedom away, just like you had some people was transgender, you see those shows, the Jerry Springers and the Jenny Gray, and all of a sudden you was once a woman. Or I'm not a man, but you was once a woman. So they didn't give them, a choice. Right. They fooled them in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't give them a choice. So my question to you is, how do you feel about that? When my book coming out is giving a woman perspective. Don't you think do you think as a man, you need a woman perspective?
Yes. I mean, we was all raised by women. So that's first and all. So yeah, I believe your book gonna be successful because I followed you for a long time. Everything you put your hands to turned to gold. So I already know that it's gonna be great. But you're right though. Men should tell out the door what they're gonna do. I just saw on the news with the lady. I remember they had a show where they had people come on and they had crushes on people. And it was a crush on this guy. It was a guy had a crush on it, embarrassed him on national TV, and he went and murdered the guy. He's getting out of jail right now, and the family is so mad about it.
Jenny Jones,
The Jenny Jones show.
I remember that.
Yeah. So fathers, you know what I'm saying? They should have told him, and that's why his lawyer was saying y'all should have told him that this was gonna happen. Y'all embarrassed him
on national TV.
On national TV. Not just that, the guy was waiting on him to come home. When he got home, he was out in his driveway talking about what's up. I was serious about that, and the guy shot him dead.
Wow.
So I mean,
hidden
agendas, and that's if you put that in your book, because that's a lot. I think that's a lot.
Because I was showing everybody, I got my first book out here called The Journey Never Ends.
Oh wow!
Right, so that's one of the books I have out. Another book is out. Is another book, but this is the worksheet that goes with it. It's for kids. It's called The Boy Called Emmanuel, and that book is being published. Right now. So right. So I was bringing that out because that is coming out because these things are actually happening. This is not something we're making up. This is actually what happens, and it's somebody else's story. That makes sense. Then I also put in my book, how long do you think that a person should know a person before they move them in? 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months. How long do you think someone should know someone?
6 years. Because, well, you already know I'm a Christian. I don't believe in people moving in. That's how I feel. But I would think you should date. If you're gonna date, you should date for a while. That overnight stuff, you see what happened. It don't last. Cause like you say, you got to get to know someone. Give them enough time to get caught up in all the stories they didn't told you in the beginning.
And that's my whole thing. All the white lies, they got to come to truth. See, so those are things that because sometimes, and the reason why that because crime of passion is very serious. Yes. Most of the jails, I think crime of passion is deeper than prison. I mean, than regular gang, because if he a stalker, he a stalker. If she a stalker, she a stalker.
Right.
They deeper than the gang banging. They bigger than vice lords. Like Kings, four kind of hustlers. Right. When they want to get you. Right. So that's why I say I think it's important that people talk about it because a lot of times people don't have an outlet to talk about it. Give you a good example. What happened? A young man was searching for his sister. He haven't seen his sister. Him and his sister was separated at birth. They was both at adoption agency.
Wow.
His sister, he haven't seen it, so he was searching for his sister. He was with this young lady, but the young lady thought he was cheating. He was like, man, I finally found my sister. So they met at this restaurant. Her girlfriend was there. She called her girlfriend up and said, oh my God, he just hugged this woman. She came, blew his head off. And his sister said, why did you blow my brother's head off?
Wow.
That crime of passion
will
get you every time. So we have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Careful of, that's why I said you got to know somebody's story. And then what you're doing in the community is very good. Now, what is the age group that you're working with?
Like 16 to 21.
So 16 to 21. Now, what happens to the lost age group? I call them the lost generation because between the ages of 23 and the age of 29, nobody's really servicing them.
that's something we will have to look into because you're right. Wait, yeah, because at that age, if they can't find a job, the streets is they next move.
Because I call that the lost generation. Because
It
I
is.
know we look at the teenagers, we look at the youth, we look at the, like you said, the 16 to 21. But when they become that other age, that middle ground, there's no programs for them. There's no trade schools for them. There's nothing for them. So what happens to that generation? So I think, and I just an idea, maybe somebody out there might be listening to the intellectual radio, what your girl mixing up with Lady Princess, and think about that. What do we do? What programs do they have? What trade programs are they having? What are they learning when they become that age group? Because that's, to me, is an open door because nobody's touching them. Nobody has anything for them. A lot of my meet, in my employment agency, no GEDs, no jobs experience, no jail, and some of them are just freshly getting out of jail, and
Yes.
at that age, in that group, they don't have any experience.
Right.
So how do we get them that experience?
Yeah, and I know that could be so depressing for them because that's no love for them. They like, I did all this wrong, but now I done did the time. And they wrong, they gonna still be looking at they wrong. And they need training like that. You're right. And you know what? I'm gonna bring that back to the table with our organization because you're right, 23 to 29 is like a loss.
Yes, I could say I call it the lost generation. So I do thank you, Mr. Durwas, for coming on to the station and,
Thank you
and,
so
and coming at a
much.
short notice. I appreciate it. But we're going to try to get some things together and have a group of people so we can have a collective conversation about that lost generation and even bring some of them in here so we can hear their concerns, so we can have more people do a outreach for them. Because I really feel that that group needs, and it's just not men, it's women in there too.
Yes.
It's women in there too who have lost everything because they went to prison or whatever too. So we want to talk about those things. But I want to thank you again for coming on to the station and
Thank you.
and don't be a stranger. Stranger danger. This is your girl, Lady Princess, and you're mixing up the gospel, Lady Princess, on Intellectual Radio. You can check me out on my Facebook or go to my website at www.princessdempsey.com. And we're doing some great things. And don't forget, this week we'll be at the Maywood Fest. Come on out. Come on out. See us at the Maywood Fest, and you'll see me there too. I might be on stage, so you never know what you're going to see or what I might do or what I might say on this station. Have a good day again. See you next Tuesday at 8 o'clock.